In this chapter, we witness the true power of Kizaru. And could Luffy potentially be defeated by Kizaru? Why do I think Vegapunk would end up killing Saturn? And why Oda should get rid of Rob Lucci like garbage, because he became like Usopp in the story. There are several hints that Oda has included in this chapter, which we will discuss. Luffy or Kizaru? The question on the minds of One Piece fans is whether the fight between Luffy and Kizaru will have a clear winner, or if Luffy is just stalling Kizaru, while the rest of the crew escapes and Kizaru is avoiding Luffy until he can kill Vegapunk. In the previous encounter, Luffy threw Kizaru away, but Kizaru came back and attacked Luffy, seemingly with the intention of killing Vegapunk while avoiding Luffy. Personally, I believe that the final decisive fight will not happen in these upcoming chapters, but rather in the last chapters of the series. In the previous chapter review, I mentioned that Kizaru's true power, or the power of light, was revealed. I also mentioned that the Admiral is a formidable opponent, but not on the same level as the King of Beasts. In a real fight between Luffy and Kizaru, I believe Luffy will emerge as the winner, but he will also face challenges. Furthermore, we still have yet to see what Kizaru Fruit Awakening entails. In this chapter, we saw Kizaru using Naruto abilities. However, I have a question regarding the authenticity of these Kizaru copies. I wonder if they are real or just illusions. I think they are really real and have the ability to attack and move. This is evident as Luffy was busy fighting copies while Kizaru chased Vegapunk. Now, I would like to know your opinion about who you think is stronger, Luffy or Kizaru, and whether Kizaru will face its end in future chapters. Moreover, we noticed Vegapunk interest in Bonnie, and we saw how Vegapunk reproached Franky for his lack of interest in Bonnie. It is curious how he treats Bonnie as his child, which made me question the truth about Bonnie. Bonnie's secret. Bonnie is the most mysterious of all supernova. At SPS 68, Oda introduced the ages of all supernova except Bonnie, which gave a rough estimate only because of its ability to devil fruit that hides its true age. In chapter 1060, Bonnie appears as a young girl when she comes out of the water, raising questions about her actual age. However, it is unclear whether her childish form is her true age, as Saint Saturn, an ancient being, refers to her as a little girl. In addition, the mystery surrounding the devil fruit remains, since its name and specific abilities are still unknown. We only know that a person's age can be manipulated and even change the schedule from which their age arises. We also saw in this chapter how Vegapunk scolds Franky, saying you are an adult while you didn't care about Bonnie. We understand from Vegapunk words that Bonnie is a little girl and Franky should take care of her. I want to share my story with you. I started my channel in early 2023 because I love talking about and reviewing movies and series. YouTube seemed like the perfect platform for me to express myself, as there are people who share my interest in reviewing movies. However, I have been feeling discouraged because I haven't received enough support. I have made the decision that if I don't reach 1,000 subscribers within a month, I will stop uploading videos. I have until the end of September to reach this goal, so please help me continue on this journey. Vegapunk and Control the Pacifista. At first, she doubted Saturn's purpose of coming to the island and not participating in the battle. I was curious to know his role and intentions. However, in this chapter, it is revealed that Saturn came to the island in order to take control of Pacifista. Vegapunk stated that whoever controls Pacifista will have the upper hand in the battle, and it is clear that Saturn wants to control it to manipulate the outcome of the battle in order not to lead a crew to escape from the island. Vegapunk does not know that Saturn is here and can turn the scales of the battle in moments. So the question is, did Vegapunk make himself above Saturn in control of Pacifista and did not tell anyone about this secret? Because if he did not, the Straw Hat crew needed a miracle to escape. I think the robot's awakening would be like that miracle. When the robot wakes up, it is expected to obey Luffy orders and enter into battle with Pacifista. In my previous review, I mentioned that the robot would transport the Straw Hat crew to Giant's Island. We will soon find out if my prediction holds true in the upcoming chapters. Zoro against Rob Lucci. I expect Oda to get rid of Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci character has become annoying. One of the weakest villains in One Piece, he has no principles. He does anything the government asks of him, so he is not strong. I currently expect that Sanji will not be defeated in a fight with Rob Lucci. Zoro fights Rob Lucci, telling him at your trivial level that it's impossible to let you fight my commander. Oda shows us how much the crew has evolved after 2 years. Even some that Rob Lucci can awaken his fruit, he will not be able to withstand Zoro for 3 minutes. So I hope that Oda will get rid of this character in the coming chapters as soon as possible. The Great Event. This theory regarding Vegapunk is incredibly intriguing and plausible for the climactic conclusion of this arc. As we have previously mentioned, the Egghead Island arc shares similarities with past arcs. However, one aspect that hasn't been talked about enough is the resemblance to the island of Ohara, which was featured in Robin Flashback. Ohara was filled with valuable knowledge, particularly concerning the poneglyphs, which the world government aimed to keep hidden from the world. So let's bring this back to Egghead now. We have the reverse situation where Vegapunk has a ton of top secret information that he most likely doesn't want to fall into the world government's hands. On top of that, he also knows about the poneglyphs in the ancient kingdom. So I can just imagine that as the Straw Hats escape, the main Vegapunk does 2 things. First, he disseminates details about the ancient kingdom worldwide, carrying on the task that was initiated at Ohara. It is likely that he accomplishes this through Punk Records, a technology similar to the internet. Furthermore, I can easily envision Vegapunk taking action, such as activating a self-destruct mechanism to obliterate Egghead Island, similar to how the world government destroyed Ohara. He would probably undertake this action to prevent the world government from acquiring the Mother Flame energy source, which they require to fuel their devastating weapon capable of annihilating entire islands. And if this sounds too crazy for you, remember that Vegapunk installed a self-destruct button on his previous lab on Punk Hazard, so it's actually not as insane as it sounds. Kizaru and Saint Saturn would definitely try to prevent such a mind-blowing situation. Though it might help them achieve their goal of killing Vegapunk, it would also ruin their chances of obtaining the Mother Flame and rescuing York. There's even a possibility that Saint Saturn could be caught in the explosion, which would be a massive surprise to everyone. What's my rate? In the end, Oda still puts more and more secrets for us in each chapter, and I think the story becomes more complicated, and maybe at the end of this arc, the balance of power in the world will be reversed. So we have to enjoy the coming chapters and continue to analyze each chapter until we know what Oda has in store for us. So my rating for this chapter is 8 out of 10. Tell me about your evaluation in the comments, and what theories you were able to reach, and I did not mention it in the video. Peace.